Alright guys, TacticalRab back again today. I hope you are all doing well and enjoying your day so far, and today I wanted to hone in on the Los Angeles Thieves. They've had a very difficult time these past couple of weeks. Of course, a team which is intending to win championships and be the best team in the game. They are clearly nowhere close right now. Absolutely humiliated last week by Atlanta FaZe, especially on that control. We'll have a look at it again in a couple of minutes time here, but they have some serious questions to answer. What is the problem within this team? SlasheR, Kenny, TJ, what a great trio that is on paper, especially in terms of their accomplishments in the past, but right now it's not working. Even bringing Venom into the team hasn't really rejuvenated this lineup as Standy has for the Minnesota Rokkr. So what is the problem? What should they actually change? And well, as some of the guys that were talking on the flank a couple of days ago, right, the idea that SlasheR actually could be the issue on this team, especially in this online environment. Enjoy taking your thoughts in the comment section below. Like if you guys enjoyed the video, subscribe if you're new as always, I'd greatly appreciate it. It really helps out the channel. Thank you very much indeed for doing that. First of all, just wanted to mention this. The CDL came up with a really interesting video actually yesterday. Take notes, learn how to play an AR from the best players in the games. They do this video when they kind of discuss how to play a main assault rifle role, and a lot of players kind of get involved. Accuracy, Assault, Skies, Octane and Aqua kind of give their thoughts, and as Arcitys says, we take this personal at formal, the idea that they weren't even asked to get involved in this, and Method says in reply as well, I took notes of these guys and look where it got me straight onto the bench. But a good video I think for new players getting into the scene to understand where you should play with an assault rifle. I'll leave a link down below if you guys would like to check it out in your own time. This is all pretty interesting. So the Guerrillas Academy, we know that they've had a very difficult time so far this season. In this video there's kind of some discussion of the fact that they're going to be making a roster change. So Chino, Exceed, Nero and Mental is the current lineup, and it's pretty interesting, right, because Los Angeles Guerrillas, you can see that their starting team, a change is probably coming relatively soon, and the ideal would be that you bring up someone from the academy roster into the starting team and that's going to fix it, but they don't really have any players like that, right? We talked about Mental before the season, this Gears of War pro formerly now, who maybe they were hoping would become the type of player that they could slot into the lineup halfway through the season and would make a significant change to the team. And obviously we don't know what change the academy squad is making, but so far they really haven't been looking spectacular by any means. So we'll have to see what they decide to do, but I think that both teams, probably the academy and the main squad, probably need some sort of a change. Also thought I'd mention this, the Challengers Cup number 11 has been cancelled this weekend. Chrome was on fire with the tweets last night, but yeah, to give the players a break over the Easter period, it does indeed seem. And this is what was kind of crazy. MajorManiak, Havoc, Morks and Nagafen, the four guys out of the five, apart from Envoy of course, from the Gen G lineup way back in Black Ops 4, they are reuniting now in the Challenger side, and while Gen G 2.0 is of course back in the building. So pretty interesting to see how these guys will do, but yeah, MajorManiak and Morks already both assault rifles, but maybe in this new Krig dominated meta that we may well be having for these next couple of weeks, we might see a situation where this team actually does pretty well on the Challenger side. So let's talk about the flank then. First of all, just wanted to shout out the flank, right? This content is absolutely phenomenal. This kind of echoes, I think, of like the World War II codcast when Nameless would sit down in the same room as the pros and would kind of get them on and chat for a little bit. That was always entertaining. So Zuma and Ben the Sim, of course, they do a great chat every single time the games finish, and you never really know what's going to go on it. It's super casual in the sense that so many pros are just hopping into it. So I think he does such a great job on this, puts them up on YouTube the next day as well. Always very interesting content to listen to. And there's some hot takes, right? Zuma likes to make sure it's not like a suit show. I think he's said that a couple of times now. The idea, like, he wants it to be kind of unfiltered. People can say what they think. And well, it certainly makes it entertaining to watch at times. So the discussion here was about, SlasheR and the Los Angeles Thieves. Obviously, they haven't been having a great time as of late. This is the absolute bloodbath that was their match against Atlanta FaZe. Clearly, FaZe wanted to come out here and make a statement against these guys, because there's been some discussion, right, between, the whole Cellium snaking thing, and SlasheR and Kenny were two of the people who were especially frustrated about it, but Simp's trying to go for trick shots. I mean, aBeZy just assassinates Venom to finish off the game, and by the time you come to the cameras, you can see that SlasheR is nowhere to be seen. And this team, if you look at all the teams in the league, there's some teams which actually enjoy playing Call of Duty. Like, FaZe seem to be one of them, Dallas seem to be another one of them. I mean, OpTic at times, but a little bit maybe suspect as of late. New York is another one as well. Since London have made their change, it seems to be the case that the vibes are flying. They actually enjoy playing the game. If there's one team that I can almost guarantee isn't really enjoying their time right now, it's Los Angeles Thieves. And it seems to me that teams that actually have the good vibes and that type of stuff actually has a really big knock-on impact on how the team looks. And look, we know that SlasheR is a phenomenal player when it comes to a LAN environment, right? He's one of the best assault rifle players of all time, without a doubt. Nothing but respect for the accomplishments he has had in the game. But certainly, since he's gone online, he hasn't quite been the same player, not only in terms of individual performances, but also in terms of maybe, his leadership role within this team, and whether this team is actually in a good state, because the talent on this team is clearly not an issue. You bring in Venom, this young gun, you've got Kenny, such a great player, you've got TJ, the super versatile player, really great search and destroy player as well, like nasty on the sticks, but yet the team is completely failing right now, and it seems like only a matter of time to me, especially in this online environment. And the problem is, right, look, if we went back to LAN tomorrow, I'd be like, okay, yeah, maybe this team does improve quite significantly, SlasheR, you know, finds his old mojo in that sense. But the problem is, I think from my perspective, is like, look, even if LAN did come back tomorrow, and we did just flip a switch and he went back to LAN immediately, at the end of the day, they're still probably going to be doing these group play matches in an online environment into, well, even into next year and beyond, right? You don't really know. Therefore, you've got to be good online to actually get to a good seeding for LAN. So I'll share some of the discussion that was had on the flank a couple of days ago.
How do we get Kenny in the right spot here? That's the problem with Drazah. It's like Kenny may be sort of best in a flex role, and like Drazah kind of takes that spot. So that's a little bit funky.
So would you get rid of SlasheR?
Oh. I mean, people are saying SlasheR out, and like honestly, like kind of trending in that direction. No,
you think so? I don't know.
It might.
But he's a leader, though. The leader, captain. You know.
Yeah, but maybe that's the problem.
Oh.
No, I'm not saying it is, but like if that just think about it logically, right? They need to figure out how to get a culture change. I think all options are on the table with this team.
You want me to be honest?
They're way back.
It looks like they lost their passion. Like they
yeah, I mean Ben said it. Ben said they lost their spirit.
It's like I don't even know.
What do you change?
But who do you pick up? Who do you drop?
I'm making big shuffles to the team right now. I think just the core three of the team has run its course.
I agree.
And the question is, what short-term changes can you make, and what's your long-term priorities?
You also still have Drazah.
These are their results so far this season then. So looked relatively good early on. They lose to OpTic, of course, at the kickoff classic, then start off 4-0. But since then, it's been a downhill trajectory. They get rid of Temp after their reverse sweep that they had to the New York Subliners. And since then, I mean, they play FaZe. Like, you're expected to lose that one. But the fashion in which they lost wasn't spectacular. And also to the Ravens as well, especially the checkmate control was like, okay, what's going on here, lads? Probably should have put up a bit of a better fight, especially given what Minnesota did with Standy coming in the day prior. And of course, like, SlasheR, Kenny, TJ, what a trio that is. And that's the question, right? Like, you look at the team and you think, what change do we realistically make? Kenny, I don't think can go anywhere. I think he's been spectacular. And then you look at TJ and you're like, well, who do you actually change TJ for that improves the team? You can look at Drazah, certainly. Drazah's on the bench. He definitely deserves a mention. I think he's been, well, somewhat hard done by, right? The fact that he hasn't even had a look in so far this season. But Drazah maybe tends to prefer a flex at times. So we're thinking, okay, what do we do? Put Kenny on the SMG alongside Venom. Then with Drazah comes in as the flex with TJ out and SlasheR's still there. Like, does it really improve the chemistry of the team, though? Like, I'm not necessarily sure it does. And if well, maybe SlasheR doesn't really want to play with Drazah, because maybe he would have given the opportunity, you know, he would have given him the opportunity before now. And, you know, maybe Temp comes back, and I don't know, like, honestly, a bit of a shambles, right? So, and of course, they're 1-3 in their group. They play LAG next. Even if they beat LAG next week, you know, if they do, and they lost 3-0 to them at when they played the Major before, like, let's say they do manage to get themselves past LAG, then they go to the Major and get bodied. Like, let's just say that happens, and, you know, let's say they go down to losers, which they will, I believe, starting losers and lose their very first match they play. Then surely something drastic has to change right here. And yeah, it's unfortunate to see exactly how it's going. As Parasite says, he has a lot of praise for Temp, actually. So you do have to wonder whether you know, the whole Temp situation was a bit of a scapegoat, right? And he wasn't actually the issue on the team. And the issue is much deeper within the core of their lineup, especially now in this online environment, right? So interesting to see how it goes. These are the stats right now over at breakingpoint.gg. And of course, like, they don't tell the whole story. I mean, in terms of overall KD and the hardpoint search and destroy, of course, Venom's just come into the team. So a bit of a difficult time for him. And it's not like TJ's putting up the greatest numbers, but a lot of teams that are having success actually, as I said earlier, seem to enjoy the game. This team does not seem to enjoy playing the game, and maybe SlasheR is responsible for that to some degree. Like, maybe the vibes aren't exactly where they need to be. Maybe his leadership style isn't really working in this online environment like maybe it would do prior, right? So there's questions. What do you actually do? Because that's the thing. If SlasheR is the problem, if you're going to make that judgment, and Jacob and Mardog are, of course, the coaching staff and the general managers over there, Jacob and SlasheR go way back, so not exactly sure they necessarily want to get rid of him. And even if you do put him to the bench, I mean, that would be a crazy wake-up call for him, I'm sure. First of all, given he wants to be the face of this franchise going forward, like, he wants to be their franchise player for the next 3, 4, 5 years, whatever, until he retires from Call of Duty. But you're thinking, okay, who do you actually replace SlasheR with if you want to replace him, right? Are there actually other potential trade opportunities for another main assault rifle role that might improve the vibes on this team, or actually, you know, just rejuvenate the squad to some degree? Because I don't really think a change like TJ for someone, Venom for some, I mean, you're not going to get rid of Venom. He's literally come into the lineup straight away and clearly is very talented. And one of the series he's had to play is up against Atlanta FaZe. But you really need to rejuvenate this team somehow. And I'm not really sure how you accomplish that apart from maybe swapping out SlasheR. And it's crazy for me to say, I think, but maybe it's something which needs to be at least lended a fair bit of consideration to if they have a difficult finish to these next couple of stages. And you know, as SlasheR's talking about right here, look, LAN is a completely different ball game. Totally, look, SlasheR is a fantastic LAN player. If everything went back to LAN tomorrow, I certainly think this team does turn it around to some degree. But just how we are right now, they just find themselves in a really tough spot. And a team like the Subliners, a team like London, the two guys that are playing right here, they have such infectious positivity on their teams now, especially with Paulx and Zed coming into London. Asim is certainly that guy on the Subliners. They just don't have that on the Thieves, right? And I think it's, well, especially as you look at these teams right here, the teams that tend to be doing the best tend to be the ones that actually enjoy their practice and enjoy playing with each other and have good chemistry with their teammates. Thieves doesn't seem like that's the case right now. I think that's probably having a knock-on impact far and away beyond exactly the pure natural talent that they have on that team. Just a couple of interesting things to finish off the video. This that Sky says, how long does being a meme last for, brother? The rest of your career. I fell off the map a couple of times in 2016 and it is still the most repeated thing about me. And this is funny from Breaking Point actually on the website right here, breakingpoint.gg/how-long since Clayster to fill off the map. There's a running timer, 7 days, 20 hours, 38 minutes, 52 seconds as of yesterday. And well, also these couple of things as well. I thought I'd mention this because I hadn't really seen an image of this before, but we kind of knew that Prestinni had moved down to Atlanta to actually, well, live with his brother, it seems like right now, at least for, the near future, because he was having certainly some internet issues. So cool to see this image that comes out right here. And also, just to finish off the video, this quick video of, well, from Seattle Surge, the vibes are immaculate when Gunless is frying. Loony, well, certainly some good chemistry here. And this is kind of what I'm talking about, right? It seems like Seattle have found their mojo back these last couple of weeks. And, would you hear comms like this from the Los Angeles Thieves guys with SlasheR at the helm? I'm not necessarily sure you would at the present time. But enjoy taking your thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, I'd greatly appreciate a like on the video. It really helps out the YouTube algorithm to know you enjoyed this content. Other people like you may enjoy this content as well. And I've grown the competitive Call of Duty community. Thank you for watching as always. Take care. And I will see you next time.
They chalked it, I guess.
Let's go.
One away from streaks. Okay.
You guys are gross.
Oh, literally doing nothing. Continue to keep it up, boys.
Good job, Preston.
Sir, good. Waiting for my pitch right here, boys.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's gonna be.
Oh my god.
Oh, I love you with a sub P. Let's
Oh,
go.
yeah, baby.
That's that vintage right there, baby. Best flex.